Over the last 25 years, I've had the privilege of interviewing and highlighting some truly interesting people. I mean, everyone who is anyone, both the famous and the infamous, from presidents and their first ladies to kings and queens, movie stars and pop stars, captains of industry, heads of state, sports personalities, innovative entrepreneurs, and some pretty fascinating everyday people. Today, I am proud to introduce you to Gregg Klar, an award-winning realtor who is dedicated to teaching others how to be at the top of their game. Gregg, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm fascinated by those who are in real estate. How did you get your start?
Thank you for that, Star. It's kind of an interesting story. So I started when I was very young. I just graduated high school. I decided I was going to get my real estate license and went off and did that and was excited to get started and get ready to go, and quickly learned after I started interviewing with different brokerages that they told me, thanks for coming in and interviewing, but no one's going to buy a house from a kid. And I had a great aunt that was in the business for over 40 years. And I called her up and said, hey, what gives? I met with your broker. They don't want to hire me. They say I'm too young. And she said, well, that's not going to happen under my watch. So she went into her boss's office and said, you either hire my great nephew or I'm going to walk out. And so
everybody needs a good auntie like that.
That's right, 100%. So I got a call the next day that they had a desk for me, and they threw me a phone book and said, good luck, kid. And I went on to become the rookie of the year. Then all of a sudden, by the end of my first year, I had a lot of different brokerages calling to recruit me. So that's really where I kind of got my start. I'm in a small town in Texas, and just a lot of hard work and passion.
That is so cool to hear. And I'm speaking of hard work and passion. I'm wondering, what unique skills do you think you bring to the table now at Keller Williams?
So over the last 23 years I've been doing this, the biggest thing that I think I contribute that makes me a little bit different is I'm a great listener, and I bring a lot of passion and care to my clients. I think what makes a great agent is someone that will actually sit down and listen. There's a big difference between someone just wanting something done for them, but somebody understanding why. And so I go a little bit deeper with my clients. I find out, why they need to live in a certain area or why they need a particular style home. And it really kind of brings us closer together and helps me better understand how to, serve their needs.
And you mentioned a certain area, what kind of home. You're actually certified as a luxury home specialist. So you're being a little humble when you talk about a certain area or a certain kind of house. Your expertise is really finding the best of the best. Talk to us a little bit about how this kind of specialty differs from traditional real estate.
Sure. So, in the luxury arena in which I serve, as well as a second home arena, I live, fortunate enough to live in an area that is a resort area on the water. I also serve a beach community down at our Texas coast. So being able to help my clients who are in the luxury arena is really built over the years, being involved heavily in my community. Fully understanding their needs, getting an inside information on the nuances in any particular neighborhood or area. People come to me for help to simplify their search for a home. And I can do that usually very quickly just by asking them some specific questions. And I tell my clients, my goal is to show you no more than 10 properties. And if I show you more than 10 that you don't like, I'm not doing my job.
So that's very interesting you say that. What would you say are some of the key traits essential to being a good realtor? Knowing your client has to be one of them. Knowing what your client really wants makes good, complete sense, but you've got to have some secrets to the trade.
I think being a good listener, being in tune with, what their specific needs are, knowing the inventory of a particular area. This year more than ever, due to the pandemic, I've been able to match buyer and seller privately, just knowing the inventory, knowing who might be interested in selling, knowing that it meets particular needs of a client. So there's oftentimes I can drive down a street and say, oh, I know that house has a blue kitchen. I know this house has gray countertops. Just knowing the nuances of the inventory, the area, the neighborhood, what it has to offer. And then really being compassionate and listening to your clients. At the end of the day, when we close, it's a celebration. It's a party. And I go a little bit further. I had a client recently that she sold her home, sold all the furniture, sold pretty much everything she owned. And I asked her, I said, why are you selling, everything? What's going on? And she said she had a medical issue and it was going to get worse. And her passion was to ride horses. And by selling everything, it was going to fulfill her dream of riding horses for the remaining time she had left.
Knowing your community seems very important to you.
That's right.
So how do you, in fact, give back to your community?
So I get involved locally with a lot of different charities. I'm a big believer in giving back, and I live my life I get by giving. So I give back where I can, whether it's involved with real estate, different arenas like Habitat for Humanity, Mobile Loaves and Fishes, which is a local charity here, or other arenas. My grandfather was a sheriff in the Army, so I'm involved with our local police department and bringing an awareness to the what's going on in our country today with the policing. Just different aspects of really giving back. I make it a point to ask my clients what charities they're involved with. And I try to get involved with them as well as a way of saying thank you for choosing me to represent them. So I'm involved in a lot of different areas in my local community for sure.
Well, let's get back to real estate for just a minute. What are some of your proudest accomplishments as a real estate professional?
Sitting here with you today, for one.
Oh, come on. No, I know all about the awards. Come on, Gregg.
Probably the amount of trust my clients have given me over the years, that is not something I take lightly and something I feel like I've earned. I learned a long time ago that people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so, just giving back where I can. My greatest accomplishment probably is being able to grow a team and now train agents to follow in my footsteps that will hopefully live or leave a lasting legacy for my successes and how I run and operate my business.
But your community and your colleagues have recognized the work that you have done. I've read that you literally won the Realtor Awards for a decade in a row.
Yes.
And so clearly you're doing something right.
Yeah, I think, I take customer service very seriously. I have received those awards and I'm very humbled by that. I just treat people the way I want to be treated. And I try to go above and beyond what someone's thinking their level of service should be. I like the element of surprise. I want to leave clients going, wow, what an experience. And I think as all of us go through life and moving especially is one that can be very stressful, I try to make it an experience unlike any other. So if it means I have a family with a bunch of younger children that are stressed out about closing and getting to the closing table and signing all the documents and having to deal with moving day. I've literally rented a video game van and had the kids in the parking lot while mom and dad are inside. So it's that sort of thing that I just try to go above and beyond and give people an element of surprise that they weren't expecting, so that in hopes that they'll continue to use me in the future and refer me.
There you go. There you go. The best new customer is one that came from a previous customer, because they come with great expectations of what good service looks like. Talk to me a little bit about where your goals are for the future.
I'm continuing to grow my team here locally in Austin, and that's been a great pleasure of mine to take on new and experienced agents and have them follow in my footsteps. And I'm continuing to grow my business and kind of my legacy of teaching throughout the country at other offices, teaching agents how to break into the luxury market or the secondary home market. Or just generally be more successful and productive in their businesses. So my lasting legacy, or something I want to be remembered by, is someone who gave back and trained a lot of agents to follow in my footsteps. That it's not just about a transaction; it's about an experience.
Gregg, what's the one thing you want a viewer of this video feature to walk away with today?
If you're listening to this, I want you to know that whatever your passion is, whatever you want to go out and achieve, you can do it. There's going to be people along the way try to tell you, no, you can't do that, or you don't fit in this box, or we see you doing this, that, or the other. Don't listen to them. As long as you stay persistent and consistent with whatever it is you're passionate about, the success will come. It doesn't happen overnight. Success is built with a staircase, not by an elevator. So just follow your dreams, stay consistent at what you're passionate about, and the successes will come. I wasn't successful overnight. I don't think anybody is. There's ups and downs along the way, but it will happen. Just stay with it.
I tend to agree with you. I look at success not as a destination, but as a journey. Thank you so very, very much for your time today. I certainly wish you the best with your business and with the legacy that you're building. Thank you, Gregg.
Thank you, Star. You bet.